Welcome to The Incompetent Griller, where I'm going to teach you, an incompetent griller, how to look like you know what you're doing when grilling in front of your family and friends. Today we'll be smoking a root beer pulled pork on a Weber Kettle grill. To get started, set a chimney full of coals ablaze with some newspaper below. Make sure your top and bottom vents are wide open, as we're going hot and fast today.
I also like to live dangerously.
While you can certainly go low and slow with this recipe, and it will likely be even more delicious, hot and fast is still going to turn out some great tasting pork. Now let's head inside to get our pork ready. What sets this pulled pork recipe apart from others is going to be injecting our root beer instead of marinating it from the outside in. You can buy an injector on Amazon fairly cheaply, or you can do what I did and just hang on to the injector that came with the Tony Chachere's injectable marinade that I used in my smoked turkey video. You can use the same injection point multiple times by pointing the injector in different directions. Keep in mind that the injection is for flavoring only. Pork butts tend to stay fairly juicy on their own due to their marbling. Spread the injections throughout the pork, then grab your knife. Score the fat cap to meat level in a diamond pattern, as this looks cool and it will help the fat to render more efficiently while on the grill. Now sprinkle your favorite barbecue rub on the top, bottom, and sides of your meat. I'm using Sweet Preacher since I have it on hand, but if you have a preferred seasoning of your own, go ahead and use that instead. Just remember, even though we call them rubs, you just need to pat them into the meat. Once your pork butt is ready to go, bring it outside while we set up the grill. We're doing indirect cooking today, so set your coals to one side of the grill. Because we want to protect the meat during the hot and fast cook, we're going to place a water pan next to the coals to absorb some of the heat. That's not just me talking, that's science. Or at least Mad Science Barbecue. Be sure to add some smoking wood to the coals. I'm using apple wood this time around. Then place the grill grate on top. Now place your pork shoulder butt over the water pan so it's getting cooked on the indirect heat side. Lastly, place your grill lid on with the vents over the meat to draw the smoke over the pork. For the next hour, just leave the lid on. Not many people know this, but the true cause of the Salem witch trials was women being accused of looking at what they were cooking, which was contrary to the counsel of the village elders. So remember, if you're looking, you're not cooking. While you're waiting, why not relive the childhood wonder of watching Bob Ross paint? Sure, you're going to have moments where everything is going great. And then, out of nowhere, you're going to start yelling at the screen asking, "Why did you paint that line there, Bob?" But then, he'll magically turn that line into a happy little tree, and you'll be left asking yourself, how did he do that? And you're going to find that that happens in every single video you ever watch of his. Once an hour has passed, we're going to rotate the pork. Then spritz the meat with more root beer. We'll keep doing this every hour until the internal temperature is around 160 degrees Fahrenheit, which should be about 3 to 4 hours depending on the size of your cut. After 2 hours, we're at 133 near the bone, though we're nearer to 153 in the meat. At the 3-hour mark, we're at 160 in the meat and 150 by the bone. That's the temperature range we want to be in, so we'll bring the meat inside for part 2. With the meat in a tin pan, pour some Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce on top of the pork. Next, pour some root beer in the bottom of the pan, just enough to cover the bottom. Finally, cover the pan with tinfoil, then set it back on the grill. The next portion of the cook should take around 2 hours. For now, just make sure the grill is staying hot. If you need to add coals to keep the grill temperature up, do so now. In the end, we're looking for an internal temperature between 200 degrees Fahrenheit and 210. However, it's less about the temperature and more about the texture. Probe the pork butt with your instant read thermometer. It should be able to slide into the meat with no resistance. Once you're there, bring the pan inside and let the meat rest for about 1 hour. If you're too impulsive to wait, you can dig in after about 30 minutes. However long you choose to wait, the next step is the coolest. If you've cooked this right, you should be able to pull the bone out and have the meat fall right off. Perfection. Move the meat to a second pan so you can pull the meat apart with forks, or one of those fancy meat pulling apparatuses. Spoon some of the juices back onto the meat to incorporate the flavor better. The rest of the juices should go into a mason jar and into the refrigerator. If you like beans and rice, this leftover juice will make amazing beans for your next day's meal. Your taste buds will thank you. I'm going to stop this video now so that I can eat more of this pulled pork without being shamed for how much I end up eating. Let me know of your own successes down in the comments after trying this method yourselves. Have a great day.